back to NeueCraft. My whoops. Ouch. That's kind of smart. My first private server here on Minecraft 1.19 now. So last episodes, we were making the way. We did some 1.19 things, but we were making the way for this, the World Eater. And as you can see, it's in place. Now this thing took an awful long time to build, as you could just see from the time lapse. It is not small, but it is kind of repetitive, so once you get your vibe going, you can do these relatively quickly. And yeah, now we've had enough time for all of our mods to be able to get updated to 1.19 as well, so we're back to normal. And yeah, we could use things like Matica and such that helped us build these really complicated machines. There's French. He's been helping me out, and we're about ready to do a bit of a test run with this thing. So yeah, it's enormous. As you can see, this perimeter is going to be 16 chunks from end to end. That's very large, and we're not entirely sure if the server can handle running a machine of this size, moving so many blocks using a flying machine, which is essentially what it is with a TNT duper, whether that's actually going to work or not. So this is one big experiment for us. Time will tell whether it will work or whether the server that we have has enough resources to allow a thing like this to exist. So this all could have been in vain, but we always wanted to give it a go to see if it's possible, and we've got some backup plans if this particular machine doesn't work out. But I'm going to get into position now. French is sitting in there ready to roll. That's his alt account, the French croissant, and Mr. Baguette is somewhere else. We're going to try and run this thing and see how it does. So we are about ready to do the first test. We have French in 2 of the minecarts up above. So that we keep it loaded in 2 positions. We have Harlock the other side, and all we've got to do is remove this redstone block here in order to send this thing on its way. So 3, 2, 1. It is off. It is off. TNT should be duping from above. We're going to get a lot of visual glitching, I imagine. There we go. The flying machine is on its way. So 2 different Frenches are riding it to keep it loaded its entire length, because we have a render and simulation distance of only 12 chunks on the server here, and this is 16 chunks wide. So by having 2 people in it, we can keep the whole thing loaded. Harlock is at the other end here where I'm heading now, and we should start to see the machine coming into dock with the return station here. Hopefully, when it does, it'll turn right back around and head back the other way. So here it comes. The TNT duper is not rendering properly, but it's hitting the return stations, and it should stop duping TNT. Nice. Okay, let's check out these sweepers down the bottom here. Has this worked? Wow, there's so many of them. And oh, something strange happened there. Only some of them look like they're going back. What's going on? Oh no! Oh, it's a visual glitch. Oh my goodness. Some of them have just passed straight through the return platform. That is not good. From what I can tell, from what just happened there, it looks like we lost an observer at the very top of the sweeper platforms. Somehow they maybe got blown up by the TNT. Either way, I need to get back here. I'm going to put a stop block back in place over here so we can stop the machine when it lands. So plan B here, we have basically divided up the sweeper. You see that trench in the middle of the land? We created a new trench, removed all the water that's going to cause us problems, and just made this about 1/3 of the total width. So I think it's like 12 TNT tubers wide, something like that. And we're about to see. We've been running it back and forward, so we know that the return platforms are now working. As you can see, we're starting to take away the beginning bits of the land, and we're just getting down to the sweeper level where it's going to start removing the first water sources, which is pretty exciting. So everything seems to be working again now. I think it was just the sheer size of this machine being so large, and I think perhaps it was affecting the TPS value of the server, which meant the TNT was taking longer to explode, which in turn meant the top observer you can see on this sweeper platform and the slime block underneath it both got blown up, and those are required in order to actually have them return. Without it, it'll just pass right under the return platforms. So that seems to have solved it. We can't run it all at once, so we're going to run it in sections, bit by bit, and eat the world away in chunks. Look at this, look what we've done. We've created a monumental hole in our world. It's all the way down to bedrock. Look at this. There's still lava to clear up here. We're gonna deal with that, but the World Eater did its thing. All the way down to bedrock, where the sweepers finally stopped here at the bottom level. We probably think we're going to run the TNT dupers above a few more times to clear out some of the excess stone stuck in between the bedrock. But this is just so incredible. Look at this place. There's a slime chunk right there. Fantastic. And yeah, I've got some helpers along the way here. So French and Harlock have they're clearing out the lava right now with buckets, as you can see. Hey guys, and yeah, they have been very helpful in clearing the way, collecting the resources behind the machine as it continued to eat away the world. Fantastic. Now we've been gathering a load of resources as this has been running. Harlock has neatly organized it all here for us, which is very kind. And I'm very interested to see how many diamonds we've got so far from probably about a third of this 16 by 16 chunk area. There they are, diamonds. Oh, there we go, the ores. Yes, wow. Okay, so what's that, 18 stacks roughly, and a couple of stacks of actual diamonds. Impressive, impressive. So we could, in theory, hope to triple that, maybe, by the time we get rid of everything else. So, we have been making wonderful progress, and on this side we've used the World Eater, split it up into the thirds, and it did a great job. However, at the same time, we ran a bit of experiment over here, because the World Eater took a while to run. A few of us needed to be on to make sure we could collect the resources and run the machine at the same time. Here, we have been taking away some of the world using a different type of flying machine. Now, it's up here. This is exactly the same type of TNT duper flying machine we used to remove the end island a few episodes ago, and it just goes all the way up up to the end and back again, and each time it moves along one block and then repeats and just drops a boatload of TNT. We built it at this height so that the TNT lands and stops at about the deep slate level there, so that we can then take control of that and run it to one wing one length at a time, following up behind it and removing all of the precious ores, diamonds in particular, as we continue to go. But this has been surprisingly successful. Now this method does come with a few caveats. Now the World Eater has the sweepers, which are designed to remove the liquids, the water and the lava. This machine obviously can't do any of that, it just drops TNT. So we have had to remove all the lava and water from in front of it. That hasn't been too much of a problem, because on the left side here there wasn't much water and lava to remove, which is why we've chosen to use that machine over there, and there's a boat ton of it over this side. And as you can see, there's still quite a bit more to go in the center chunk. So we're probably going to continue to use the World Eater for the majority of the rest of this. So we're going to essentially rebuild the tower connecting these two segments, chop it off so it's not the entire length, of course, and try running that part of the World Eater to take away what's left. So that's what we're going to get up to next, and hopefully we've got some more time-lapse footage of the world being removed. So we're doing pretty well here with the perimeter. we had a bit of an issue with the World Eater. I was running it and somehow died. A spider killed me while I was running it, and then parts of it became unloaded because I was no longer on the server. And it broke, but it broke just around the time it got to deep slate level. So what we've decided to do is use this simpler TNT flying machine, which is just going back and forward and moving across one block at a time. It's taking the rest of this chunk down. What is that, about 6 extra blocks? Removing this to get it to this level, and everyone's helping to remove any ores that get captured along the side here as we go. Then we'll have all of this remaining land, this bit and this bit, all down to the same level. And we'll probably just use this same simple machine to just sweep across the whole thing, one layer at a time, and actually forget about the World Eater for the rest of it, because we've removed the vast majority of the water now. The underground caves with lots of water are all over here, and in the section we've just removed, which is great. There's a couple of little pockets of lava, we believe, at the bottom, but for the most part, we've done the hard stuff. Now it's just removing this last bit of deep slate, picking all the ores out as we go, and then we're done. Then we have ourselves a finished perimeter. So we're going to carry on with this, and hopefully the next thing I'm going to show you is a fully complete 16-chunk perimeter. So there's something I wanted to show you. This is an interesting way to reveal that we have finished our perimeter. See this? This is a map of NeueCraft. It's like Google Maps for Minecraft. It's a new mod we installed on the server, and it basically creates a map from all of the loaded chunks that exist and all the loaded chunks that have been visited. As you can see, it also shows where people are if they are on the map. And this is our spawn area over here. This is actual spawn location. There's my original starter house. A lot of people have been doing work on spawn recently, tidying it up. So I'm going to go and show you that a little later on. This is Harlock land over here with all of his various buildings and farms. This is my base. Look how that renders from above. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting looking. And here's my honey farm and turtle farm and rabbit farm and goat farm. Village all the way up the sides. Here's my stream coming down to the bridge I made over to Harlock's new development over here, which he's been continuing to extend into the wider Harlockverse. Yeah, doesn't it look fab? I'm really enjoying having this and being able to see where people are and what they're doing. Here's Adam's floating islands, and then way over here we've got French and Seoul and everyone else. And then, yeah, all the way down here in the south is our perimeter. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. It's enormous. And previously this was filled with land, of course. Now it's completely empty. They finished it. I haven't logged on myself yet, so I'm going to go and do that right now and see what it looks like. So let's have a gander at how this looks. I haven't been on here for a few days, and the gang have been finishing off the clearing of the remainder of the perimeter on their own. Oh my goodness. I think they've even nearly finished laying the floor. We're putting in a black glass, I believe, stained glass floor here, so we can actually walk around and still see the bedrock. And there seems to be something very laggy going on right now. I don't know whether that's because all of this land's been removed and the chunks are updating. Just look at this. The scale of it. It's incredible. The next thing to do is to start planning some farms that we want to put in here. I'm very interested to see where there are slime chunks. I think we're going to use one of the mods to help us figure that out. I think we want to put in a slime farm in here, wherever we have multiple slime chunks that we can leverage to get a really large, efficient farm going. And a creeper farm. We're going to build an insanely efficient creeper farm in this space to get all the gunpowder we're ever going to need. So that's what we're going to do next. But for now, the hard part is done. The chunk is gone. The 16 chunks, 16 by 16 chunks, completely gone. Look at that. And yeah, very, very pleased with what we've been able to achieve here. Monumental achievement. Massive thanks to French, of course, Harlock, as well as Sol and Super. They've all been really helpful in helping us out and getting it to this point. So, team effort. Bravo, everyone. Great job. Couldn't be happier with how this turned out. Well, of course, let's check out the final count. What did we get diamond-wise? I think towards the end we were getting a little tired of slowing down the machine in order to collect all of the ores that were being revealed behind it. And regardless, I think we got a lot of diamonds out of this. Oh my goodness. What is that? 27, 28, 29, 30, 32 and a bit stacks of diamond ore. And 3 2/3 stacks of actual diamonds. Incredible. It's going to be fun fortuning all of those and dividing them up between us. It's going to be a pretty healthy diamond haul, that is for sure. So I've been continuing to breed the goats and get the horns, and what I've done is I've separated them out. So after breeding and breeding and breeding these guys, the percentage chance is pretty low. I think it's like 2% or something to get a screaming goat. And I eventually got 1, and then 2 screaming goats, and I have had quite a few more since. As you can see, I'm wearing one of the heads right now. Funny little things. So the screaming goats are on this side. Listen to this noise. Oh my goodness. Ah! It's pandemonium in here. But it's working. Look at all of these horns we're picking up. These are all the new ones. I've been continuing to breed these guys and collect all of their horns. It's been going extremely well. And we've got a good collection now. I think we're in a place where we can start selling. We have pretty much a shulker of everything. So we have more than one shulker of all of the main goat horns, the first set of 4 non-screaming goats. And then we have almost a complete shulker of the rest, and yeah, more than one of the admire for the screaming set. So we've got tons and tons of them now, which means we're in a position to start selling them. And I've come up with a little idea for a shop, just a simple thing, nothing too complicated. And I've got some materials here that we're going to take to go and make that shop. And then we'll come back and get those and stock it up. So we're going to head over to the shopping district now, pick out a little spot, and put ourselves together a lovely goat horn shop. While we're over here, actually, let's take a quick look at this. Spawn has been reimagined. A whole group of folks, excluding me, because I wasn't around, have been very busy making Spawn look beautiful. So there was a market here previously, this cliff wasn't here, all of these custom trees have been put in. We have a brand new Spawn house at the very top here. And I think it looks absolutely fantastic. They've done an amazing job. You've got this stream that runs all the way from up in the mountains, and it goes off into 2 ways here, into 2 different ponds. We've got this beautiful little Spawn house. Where's the front door? I don't think it has an interior as yet. Oh, they put the map back in here. That's fantastic. Great. Look at that. Love it. And yeah, I think this has got multiple floors, right, and rooms. We're going to come up with some interior for this, but it looks amazing. We simplified a few things, took down a whole load of stuff. Still got some of the crazy mobs in boxes up there. Funny to see. And it looks lovely and tidy and wonderful. We got rid of the big old portal and we instead place one in the doorway to the shopping district, right in here, which meant we could get rid of the other shopping district portal. So good consolidation overall. I'm going to check my diamonds to see how many I've made in different places and see if we can pick out a good spot for this goat horn shop. I'm thinking this spot right here. I've just got to make sure it fits. Otherwise I've got this one here, and we'll get to building. So cue time lapse. done. The goat's horn farm is in place. All the horns are now fully stocked. We have 3 diamonds each, or 18 for a complete set. I chose that price because they're a pain in the ass to get these things. You've got to find the goats, you've got to capture them, you've got to breed them, you've got to get them to ram you and collect the horns. Like, it is an effort. It's not easy, and so I think they're kind of valuable. And there we go. We have our Mr. Goat here, and you can hear some redstone. There we go. Woohoo! Every minute or so, or about every 30 seconds, I think it is, opens his mouth and sticks out his tongue. Just for a little bit of animation there, just to make it a bit interesting. But I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. It's kind of dark in here, so I tried to add a little bit of lighting around and hide it as best I could. I'm pretty pleased, really. There we go. He's pulled his tongue back in. The horns don't show up brilliantly at the top because it's quite dark up there, but I think it worked out pretty well in general. And I like the use of blocks here. I've been using white shulker boxes and a mixture of concrete powder and wool and quartz and all sorts, really. Just trying to get a really nice array of textures going on. I did explore the possibility of him spitting out the horns, much like this guy over here, but there's just too much. The redstone would have been insanely complex to have like some sort of vending machine essentially to choose the horn you want and then spit it out, and yeah, it would have been very complex. So this is just simpler. People just come and get what they want. We've got an ATM here. All good. Very happy with him. Another shop in the shopping district. I love it. Over here at the perimeter, French has been starting to work on the creeper farm already, and it's going to dominate the space. So let's just have a little quick look. Oh my word, look at this. So each one of these is going to be a creeper farm tower, and they're all going to fall down here and go into these portals, I assume, where we're going to take them to the nether to get rid of them. Very interesting. It's going to be pretty immense. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. The sheer volume of gunpowder this is going to make. It's going to be mental. It's going to hit mob cap for sure. So, yeah, French seems to be taking control of building that. I'm going to help out if I can, and then we can see what else we can squeeze in this perimeter as well. Yeah, I'm really glad we got this project finished, and it just looks absolutely epic, doesn't it? So incredible. So we'll come back to this next time. For the time being, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you liked seeing us create this perimeter and the other things we got up to this time. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Take care for now. Bye-bye.